Brick 91 is the fewest you guys have allowed in a game this season. What did you like about the defense you guys had today?
We knew this was going to be a grind of a game. They scratch and claw and hold, and they're just very, very physical. And we needed to prepare ourselves to do the same thing. And so I liked a lot of things about the game. I mean, 24 in the first quarter is solid, certainly. And then 17 in the second is great. And then we got a little separation in the third. And then fourth. I like the way our guys went in at the end of the game. I mean, they didn't just trade shots. Walker made a hard play going to the floor, and that's how it's got to be now in this league.
Out kind of game. What impressed you about the way Tyrese was able to still play free and kind of get through all that part of it to have the night he did?
Well, Tyrese was the difference in the game. No question about that. I think he had 4 threes in the first quarter, maybe even 5. I'm not really for sure, but that got the building going. It got us juiced up, and this is why you need great players on your team.
The All-Star break was more of a break for him than he's had in a while. I believe he mentioned. Have you seen like a pep in his step since then, or anything change in his disposition in the games since then?
To me, it's just been a gradual ascent through the season. I do think the rest during the break was helpful. He's played very well, in all 4 of these games. I mean, homestands are challenging for a lot of reasons. This one because of the quality of the opponents, and in the case of Toronto, they've been a hard matchup, and they're an in-your-face physical, run through a wall team, and you got to be ready for that. And our guys did a really solid job.
Myles is obviously another guy who's been really good since the break. Another strong night tonight, 5 from 3, but also he had a lot of presence around the rim, 2 blocks, but altered more than that. What did you like about him on both ends tonight?
Yeah, Myles has been terrific. I mean, and look, that period before the break where he missed some games, that was the bright side of that was it was a nice rest for him to get his legs back and stuff. And the two practices coming out of the break were key practices for us. They were hard, but there was a lot of stuff involving holding the ball, getting your rhythm back, and stuff like that. And he did a really good job. At the beginning of that Memphis game, he missed 3 or 4 threes right off the bat. And I think I told you guys this after the game. In the first time out, we'd had a bunch of good looks that weren't going down. And I said, hey guys, this is the first quarter after the All-Star break. Everybody's missing shots right now. The process is good. Keep stepping into them. And then when he went back in after that early break in the Memphis game, he got on a roll, and he's been on it ever since. And so, we need to take the great threes when they're there. He's done a really nice job. And tonight, we needed everything we got from him, Tyrese, and everybody.
To go back to the defense, I mean, you mentioned before the game that R.J. Barrett had been a problem for you guys the first couple. Obviously, you had a couple guys tonight that you didn't have in the first couple games, in Aaron and Ben in particular. Just what do you like about just the wing defense? Some of the guys that caused you problems before, but it seemed like you guys handled them pretty well.
Well, Barrett's averaged over 30 in the first 2 games. So it wasn't a hard sell that this guy has been a problem and that we need to really pay attention to him and try to take some things away if possible. And look, it helps when they're second night of a back-to-back and you're not. But it's a team thing. I mean, he's a guy that gets downhill for a guy that's big and strong. He gets by people. And we were able to keep him in front of us a lot of the night tonight, which really helped.
Coach, what was the biggest difference in terms of valuing your possessions after the first quarter? Toronto obviously plays that frenetic pace, but there was a complete difference as far as taking care of the basketball security-wise thereafter.
Well, it just things were loose to start the game. I think some of it was their physicality and just how they play. They rip at everything. They're up. They create an element in the game where it's hard for the officials to blow the whistle every time. And so we didn't do a good job. I think they had 12 points off turnovers in the first quarter. Second quarter, we had 2 turnovers, and we were able to, get it to a 10-point lead. And so, teams like this, you've just gotta hang in, and you gotta understand that it's a tedious type game, and just keep in the grind mode. And when you can break out and flow and get some easy transition, you got to do it. Yes.
Sorry. The Raptors were up 2-0 in this season series. Was there a new game plan?
It's 2-1 now.
There we go. Was there a new game plan going into tonight that you kind of changed the mindset against them?
Well, we needed to play better. We needed to play harder in the effort areas. Rebounding has been a problem against them. Transition points have been a problem against them. And so, transition is a defensive coverage. Blocking out at the end of defensive possessions is part of a coverage. And so those two areas were really key. We did better in those areas, and we were able to get the ball in the basket. Thanks.